Belief. Believing, believe. What does that word really truly mean? How does it affect your manifestation? Do you have to believe in what you are manifesting in order to receive that manifestation? So many people talk about you have to believe it. You have to change your beliefs. You have to find a new belief in order to be able to get something that you want. Well, I'm going to give you my personal take on it, as well as what I believe Neville Goddard's personal take is on it, and Law of Attraction's personal take on that word, believe. This is Susie, your beautiful Swan Queen. Welcome back to the garden, my beautiful ducklings. I want to let you know that I do have openings in my one-on-one coachings, so if you're interested, you can email me or you can go to my business Facebook page, check out my packages, and send me a private message. When we are manifesting, the word manifesting has so many different meanings to so many people. For me, the definition of manifesting means I'm trying to get something I don't have. I'm wishing, I'm hoping, I'm wanting, I'm desiring to get it, but I don't know if I ever really will. And the word believe itself is another stickler, because believe means I assume something to be true. So do I need to believe? Do I need to change my beliefs? Do I need to create new beliefs in order to get my manifestation? Fuck no. Absolutely, positively not. In Susie's world, not at all. Persist in the assumption until it hardens into fact. That is what Neville Goddard says all the time. Persist in the assumption until it hardens into fact. The definition of believe is assume something to be true. So if you persist in the assumption until it hardens into fact, in Susie's world and in Neville Goddard's world, you will get your desire. But you don't have to believe it, because you are persisting in the assumption until it hardens into fact. So I can ask, and I can ask, and I can ask, and I can receive it because I keep putting it out there. This is mine. This is mine. This is mine. Thank you for delivering it. I got it. Isn't it wonderful? Thank you, Father. Isn't it amazing? I love that phrase. Isn't it amazing? If it is amazing that I got my desire, then I persisted in the assumption until it hardened into fact, and I got it. So the more I talk about I have to change my beliefs, I have to believe my manifestation is going to happen in order to get it, that is a problem with the belief itself. Because in reality, as soon as it feels 100% natural, your beliefs automatically change just like that, and you get your desire. If I am in the state of struggling, that means I believe money is scarce, money is hard to make, money is not coming my way easily. But if I'm in the belief of wealth, everything I do creates money. Everything I say, everything I do, I take a nap, I go to the park with the little one, I take a bath, I go to sleep. It doesn't matter. I am going to make money. And it's going to come to me in tons and tons of different ways. So if I'm struggling or I'm wealthy, there's two set of beliefs. The struggling belief is nothing works out for me. The wealth belief is everything works out for me. But as soon as you go from this to that, this belief automatically disappears, and you didn't have to create a new belief. Because once that story or state again becomes natural, your belief automatically changes. So if you believed men are just evil, they're idiots, they're useless as tits on a board, that's exactly how they're going to show up. But if you walk around and you say, you know, I understand that I created this reality where I thought men were idiots, And I've noticed lately that, so-and-so is actually really pretty nice. And my brother's really changed and he's really nice. And my son is actually stepping up to the plate and doing the things he tells me he's going to do. Wow, my dad actually apologized to my mom. So, I'm starting to see that these things aren't true. So maybe men aren't all bad. Maybe it's just a certain breed. I mean, we all blamed pit bulls for being bad dogs, only to find out it was certain pit bull dog owners that were actually bad. So everybody had this belief that this pit bull was bad, and then they started seeing proof that it was the owner that was mistreating the dog. And they started seeing more proof and more proof that they were not properly training the dog. And then all of a sudden, across the universe, laws are being lightened, and they're saying you can have a pit bull again. You can bring a pit bull into this community because it's no longer the dog's fault. It's now the owner's fault. So we went from believing we had a bad dog to now believing we have a bad owner. I have been training dogs since I was 4 years old. I've been in, I don't know how many obedience classes. The person who raised me, I affectionately call him the idiot, took me to the classes when he did obedience training. So when I would go to obedience training, I would have these women there, and I'm 4 years old, just a little bitty thing, probably lucky if I weighed 30 pounds dripping wet. I was tiny. And they would give me the St. Bernards and the Great Danes, and they would say, show them how to walk the dog. Show them how to make the dog sit. Show them how to make the dog stay. I could take any dog in any class and get that dog to behave. How did I do that? Because my dog behaved. This person taught me how to treat my dog. So I treated all the dogs like my dog. So I had a belief if I put my dog on a leash and I said, sit, their butt was going on the ground. If I said lay, they were going to lay down. If I dropped the leash and I said stay, they were going to stay. And I could walk away. So one day, I'm out walking English Mastiffs. I'm in my 20s, and I have two of them. One is 29 inches at the shoulders, 240 pounds. The other one is 31 inches at the shoulders, and she was still a pup, so she was probably 190 pounds. She didn't fully fill out yet. And this person kept calling the police department, saying this woman's walking these big dogs and she can't control them. It's just scary. And the officer would pull up in his squad car, terrified to get out of the squad car because these dogs are bigger than me. I am 5 foot tall. I was 100 pounds, soaking wet, and I am walking these ginormous dogs. I told the girls to sit. I dropped their leashes and I told them to stay, and I walked over to the squad car. And I talked to the officer and told him that my dogs are well trained. The ones that are barking and making the noise, as you can see, are the chow chows. This story is about showing the officer that I believed I could control my dogs. I was in the state of dog controlling owner, and my dogs were good girls. My dogs were always good girls. I would take the leash and I would put them on their backs and I would wrap them up through their collar, and I would not even have my hands on the leash. This would freak out that same little old lady. The officer would come over. I would tell the girls to sit, and off I would walk to his squad car again. And then I would be like, look, they're not going to go anywhere. Watch. Get in your squad car, sit down, be patient. I'm going to walk halfway down the block. I walked halfway down the block. The girls didn't move. I believed something to be true because I had been doing it for over 15 years. But I could easily change that belief, because if I decide pit bulls are bad, that means that I wouldn't be able to control a pit bull. Or male dogs are a pain in the butt to housebreak. They lift their leg everywhere. They're impossible to housebreak. How many times do you hear that phrase? Well, I had a male dog. Guess what? He was difficult to housebreak because everybody kept saying, oh, you're not going to housebreak him. You're not going to housebreak him. But I would put him in his pen, which we called his bedroom, which was the dog crate, and I would close the door and lock it. And I would go to town, do my errands. Well, I thought I locked it one day, and I come home and it's open like that much. Like literally open. He could have gotten out anytime he wanted, but he didn't, because my belief was he obeys me. So when we are trying to create beliefs in order to get our manifestation, we are forcing ourselves to do something that is not natural. Law of attraction says, ask, believe, and then you'll receive it. Neville says, persist in the assumption until it hardens into fact. Which is more natural? I'm an alpha bitch who can walk any dog. And I proved that because I had a boxer that was in a kennel, and I got her when she was 4 months old. I was on crutches. I got the boxer home out of the car, put her on the leash, walked down a hill, walked across the backyard like 3 times on the crutches because that's all I could take. That dog was a perfect lady. She did absolutely everything I told her to do. So then I gave her to my youngest daughter, who was just a little bitty thing, the same size as the boxer. And I taught her the same thing. But if you don't persist in the assumption that that belief is in fact true, you parents get a divorce. Your other parent has a dog. You're calling the other parent going, can you teach me how to walk my dog? Because you didn't ingrain and stay in that belief that I could do, be, or have anything I want. And using the dog analogy makes you all understand, because most of us have pets, or we've been a pet owner, or we see people with pets. Here's the thing. Persisting in the assumption. I tell you guys all the time, a short phrase creates your reality. And the more you say that short phrase, you're going to get results. Form it in a question. And when you form it in a question, Neville used how is and isn't it wonderful. I use why. Because I was taught in the 90s why questions. And when I was taught those why questions in the 90s, I didn't know Neville existed at this time. I didn't know nothing about his teachings. Neville says, isn't it wonderful? I'm happily married to Jared. How is it I'm happily married to Jared? Susie says, why am I happily married to Jared? When I do that, I am forcing my belief to become natural to what I'm aligning to in the most natural way possible. So I don't have to believe I'm happily married to Jared in order to be happily married to Jared. I just have to keep asking a question. And then I answer the question as I go about my day. Why am I happily married to Jared? Because he has my back. Because he does nice things for me. Because he supports me. Because he makes sure that no matter what, I am safe. I am protected. He makes me laugh. He looks at me like I'm the only woman in the entire universe. I'm not talking planet Earth. I'm talking the entire universe to infinity and beyond. He looks at me like I am the only woman in the world. So I just gave myself answers that I know to be true. So now when I start asking why, or saying, isn't it wonderful, or isn't it amazing, or how is it that this relationship with Jared is absolutely amazing, I have answers to my questions. And I teach you the questions because If you are changing your story, you have to do something to get yourself to become natural into this new story. And if you are not natural in this new story, you're already asking questions why it isn't going to work. So you're the alpha bitch who can walk the dog, any dog on planet Earth, with absolutely no problem. But yet you can't manifest your specific person because you have to believe it. Use your alpha bitch in walking a dog to persist in the assumption so it hardens into fact that you are with the love of your life. Because being with the love of your life is a full-time job. It's not something that you are going to pick up once in a while and work on and put it down. It's not something you are going to pick up and work on for 5 minutes once a day and it's going to be done. It is going to be persistence that this relationship is amazing. It's wonderful. It's happy. It's loving. That you get along. Because as soon as they do something to piss you off, you're right back there with the lamp going, seriously, I'm a manifesting bitch and I'm back to square one. I hate square one. Square one just totally bites. But that's what we do because manifesting teaches us that we are doing something wrong. And so many coaches tell you, you have to do it this way because that's how they know how to manifest. I take the way you manifest. So if you manifest with thank you, you would be walking around saying, thank you, I have an amazing relationship with the love of my life. Thank you. It's so amazing to be in this awesome relationship. Thank you. He supports me. Thank you. He has my back. Thank you. He's always there for me. Thank you. He's making me laugh. Thank you. We always have fun together. We have great communication. And I go down the list. If that phrase doesn't work for you, does isn't it wonderful work? Does why work? Does just stating it as I am work for you? Or just saying, I got it. I find your words that you naturally use and I tap into that naturalness that you have. So if you're scripting and you're writing, you should be writing it the way you naturally do it. And you're not naturally going and writing down, I intend to be in a relationship with the love of my life. I'm going to be in a relationship with the love of my life. You want a certain weight point. You're going to write down on this piece of paper, I weigh 123.4 pounds. I weigh 123.4 pounds. I weigh 123.4 pounds. I weigh 123.4 pounds. You might script it by saying, you know, my diet really worked and now I weigh 123.4 pounds. You might say, thank you, I weigh 123.4 pounds. You may say, you know, I have this amazing weight. I'm always at my perfect weight. Your words determine whether or not you believe it because you're persisting in the assumption to be able to get that desire. So be the alpha bitch. Find something that you naturally do 100% all the time. And then start asking yourself, how do I do that? I always get coffee. Always get free coffee. I got one this morning. Iced coffee from Sonic. It's not as good as Angela's, but it's yummy. I persist. Why is life amazing? I'm always getting free coffee. People are always giving me free coffee. I used to always be out of coffee. Now I'm not, because whenever I'm out of coffee, somebody gives me coffee. If I'm getting low, I get coffee somewhere. Sometimes I do have to pay for my coffee. I might be shopping with my daughter and we're grocery shopping and she's like, we need to get you coffee. I didn't remember coffee was on my list, but she said, we need to get you coffee. Manifesting is not believing. Manifesting is persisting in assumption until it hardens into fact. Once it hardens into fact, you automatically believe it. And now all of those new beliefs for that story you are creating line up perfectly. But if you are trying to change a belief, you are forcing a square peg into a round hole, and it doesn't work. So focus on the little things that you naturally do every day. Notice that self-talk. Notice the way you talk to your pets, your children, your parents, your best friend. What is the difference? How is this relationship amazing versus this relationship that sucks? I have a relationship that I would like to have better. And I always say my relationship with this person is like my daughter Savannah. That doesn't feel natural because this person isn't Savannah. So I need to start persisting that, you know what, no matter what, I have an amazing relationship with this person. This person loves me, respects me, and has my back. And if I do that, I'm shifting gears. I'm not comparing or trying to mold them into the same person. I'm creating two individuals, allowing their personalities to shine, but still saying, this quality that I'm using, that I persist in every single day of my life, now is being used to persist in this person's quality. Changing me changes the outside world. Changing you changes the outside world. But you don't have to force a square peg into a round hole and believe that you are going to get your manifestation in order to do it. That's what the tools, the tips, and the techniques are for. They are there to guide you to focus forward, redirect your thoughts so you naturally get whatever it is that you think you want, need, desire, or must have. I love you guys. Have an absolutely positively amazing day. Again, subscribe, smash the like button, share my videos, and tell me why what I'm sharing with you is drastically changing your life for the better.